All right, guys, so last week I shared some fun new antique finds, one of them being this beautiful European pine hutch that we got for our dining room space. That piece sort of sparked some changes in our dining room, and I just thought it would be fun to show you guys what I've been up to this week and what those changes were. So I'm gonna take you along with me and show you what we did, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, and it's fun to hear your feedback and see what you all think about it. So first off, I told you last week we brought this beautiful pine hutch in, and it was a little too squished. The shelves on either side came too close to the pine hutch. And so I knew right away that I needed to cut those shelves down. But the main thing that was kind of bugging me was the hutch, my corner hutch on the opposite side of the room. It was all feeling like a little bit too much brown going on. I had the green table there before, $25 Facebook Marketplace find. It was a beautiful little table, but that brought some color into the space. And now I have these two heavier pieces that are both brown, and something just wasn't feeling right. So the first thing I decided to do was paint my corner cabinet, which was very difficult for me because I actually really love that color. And for a second I thought, should I just sell this corner cabinet because I really love this color and it's beautiful as is? Or should I try to paint it a different color to see if I would still like it in this space? What should I do? And I was back and forth for a while. I love chippy old furniture that's authentic, and I thought about creating a faux finish on this corner hutch. I'm not a huge fan of them though. I feel like you can tell when they're faux. And I just didn't know if I would ruin it by trying to do this. So I kept thinking about the color blue in this space, and so I stacked up some benches. I have a couple of blue little benches throughout my home, and I threw like a blue tea towel on top of the cabinet, and I actually really loved the pop of blue over there, and I said, you know, I'm just gonna go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I could always repaint it if I hate it. So I happen to have some Miss Mustard Seed milk paint, which is really awesome paint. I've used it once before. You take the powder in the bag and you mix it with water to kind of create your own consistency. You can make it as thick or as thin as you like. You can make it, really pigmented and add more powder if you want to. So I started off with a very thin coat. The recipe on the back says use 1 tablespoon of the powder to 1 tablespoon of water, equal parts. I decided to do 2 tablespoons of water and 1 part milk paint because I wanted this kind of thin, uneven, authentic coat of paint on this hutch. All right, so before I tell you everything that I did to the corner hutch, I want to talk to you guys about what I do to my face. This is the Blooming Face Pro 2.0. I've shared it with you guys on multiple occasions. Today I am using my favorite setting. It's the red setting, and when you start to use it on your face, it gets warm, which feels so good in these winter months. I love the fact that I can use the Blooming Face Pro 2.0 to really help in so many different areas. So first of all, it uses microcurrent technology to help reduce wrinkles, decrease puffiness. It also helps to reduce a double chin. I'm just gonna use it on one side of my face during the time that I'm speaking with you about this, so you can see the difference. I'll put it here on my forehead. This is where I have really harsh lines, and then I'll just work it over here on this side of my face. But this red setting is also anti-aging, and so what that warmth does is that it helps to increase oxygen and blood flow to the skin, which also helps with collagen production, and so you have the anti-aging benefits of this red light, which I really, really love. Another thing that I really love about the Blooming Face Pro 2.0 is the fact that it increases product penetration. So in the evening, that's actually when I use my Blooming, After I apply my moisturizer and my wrinkle serums, I love using the warmth of the Blooming Face Pro 2.0 to really help with that product penetration. So a couple of really awesome things about the Blooming Face Pro. It's 100% satisfaction guaranteed or your money back, which I think is amazing, and it speaks a lot about a product. If you're not satisfied with the results, they will refund you, and I think that's awesome. All right, so whenever I share the Blooming Face Pro, it always sells out. I will put all the information down in the description box below so that you guys can check out my link and grab one for yourself. Like I always say, it's only for the first 100 people that click on that link. Only they will receive that deal. Normally the Blooming Face Pro is $300, but if you click on my link in the description box below, you'll receive $200 off, plus $50 off a second unit. So that's an amazing deal, but again, it's only for the first 100 people who click that link. So I've told you guys before that you'll notice the biggest difference with the Blooming Face Pro if you use it for 3 minutes 3 times a week. It's easy to remember, 3 and 3. And whenever I'm consistent with it, that's when I notice the biggest results. So let me go ahead and show you. Obviously, I've just been working on this side of my face, but whenever I use it, I always feel like this side is more lifted. The skin is tighter, it feels less puffy, it just feels so good. I'm going to put all the details in the description box below, so if you haven't gotten one for yourself yet, now is the time. I know you guys are gonna love having the Blooming Face Pro as a part of your beauty routine just as much as I have. So check out that link in the description box so you can grab one for yourself. So as soon as I started painting it blue, I have to admit, I loved it immediately. I thought that it was the right choice. I was excited. I also loved the fact that it was uneven and some of the brown was coming through. Now the brown that was on the corner cupboard, I have a whole blog post all about that. I can't remember the name of the color. My mind just went blank, but you can look it up on my blog. It's a beautiful color. I kind of left a lot of that brown showing through and did this thin sort of watery coat. That was step 1. Then I decided that it looked a little too, even with the brown showing through here and there, it was still a little bit too perfect. So I started to study older pieces of furniture, specifically painted pieces. I went on Pinterest and Google and I just typed in like primitive blue cabinet or antique blue corner cabinet, things like that. And I was able to get all of this inspiration and kind of see where wear and tear normally happens on a piece, where to distress more to add aging. And I think that that really helped me know what direction to go in. So one thing that I noticed right away is that on a lot of these antique painted pieces, certain parts of the paint, probably depending on where they were in a space and how much light hit them, were more faded than others. So I took a little bit of just plain white paint and mixed it with water, and I kind of added to some of the raised areas of this corner hutch, I added some thinned out white paint to sort of highlight maybe areas that would have caught the sun more. Then I noticed that any area where there was like a panel and there were sort of deeper grooves, that always looked a little bit darker and more aged, probably because, you know, dirt and oil settle into those cracks and crevices. And so I took some antique, or I think it's called dark wax by Annie Sloan. It's one of my favorites. I've used it and talked about it a million times on this channel. And I just slightly touched up some of those cracks and crevices with that dark wax. And I found that sometimes I would go too heavy with it, and I didn't like how heavy it was, and a magic eraser works great for taking the wax back off if you go a little too heavy. Now I have all of these steps on a blog post for you guys if I'm going too fast, or if you're like, whoa, 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 tell me what you did one more time. So you can go to that blog post and check it out, and that should be pretty helpful. But after that, I wanted to add some distressing. I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't want it to look super faux. And so I just focused on a few areas that I thought natural distressing might occur. So kind of in the corners of doors where you grab the handles. And speaking of handles, I switched from there was like an oil rubbed bronze knob on the cabinets before, and I switched to wood knobs, and I think I want to distress the knobs a little bit more on this piece. I'm not sure yet, but I did some distressing with some just like 120 grit sandpaper in certain areas, and it was looking really cool, but I still felt like the piece needed more. And so I took some very dark brown acrylic paint, which this probably is not wise. I know people are gonna tell me, make sure you seal this corner cabinet, and I will. I haven't sealed it yet. But I took this acrylic paint, I mixed it with water, and I gave the entire piece just a thin coat of this dark brown paint that was watered down. And that was it. It like gave the entire corner cabinet this authentic antique look that I really loved. I think it turned out very beautiful. I don't know if it will be the piece that forever stays here, because I truly love bringing authentic antiques that have true age and wear and tear into our home. So if I come across the most beautiful, you know, authentic blue chippy cabinet, then it might be replaced. But for now, I feel like I can work with this. And I think the blue is really lovely. So you guys tell me what you think about the way that this corner hutch turned out. I think it's a beautiful pop of blue in the dining room. I think it makes more sense now with the pine hutch. It looks lighter and brighter and doesn't feel so heavy. So you guys let me know what you think. I feel like it turned out really nice. Still sort of playing with the top of the cabinet. And I messed around a little bit with what I have on the inside of the cabinet. Currently, the inside is still brown. It's interesting because the original color on this corner cabinet, which by the way, I found this on Facebook Marketplace for like $80, $75 or $80. And the original color was like this teal green. So that kind of showed through when I sanded it, which I kind of liked. I thought that was neat. So after the corner cabinet was finished, we had to focus on the shelves here on either side of the pine hutch. And my husband took them down. I had to remove everything off of them, of course. I was really toying with the idea of removing them all together, but I sort of like the shelves with the cabinet. You guys tell me what you think. I feel like they work well together, and you'll see how they turn out here in the end, but we took 4 inches off of each shelf. So 8 inches total off of each shelf. And I also wanted to say I have a whole blog post about these DIY shelves. We built them, and the corbels that we use and everything like that. So if you want to head to my blog, you can just type in like DIY shelves or something, and they should pop up. So our home was built in the 1930s, and there's so many beautiful characteristics. We have these archways, we have this these thick baseboards, we have these fun floor vents and all these great things that come with a 1930s home, but we also have plaster. And whenever we hang anything in this home, I always get nervous because trying to patch up plaster is just, it's not fun. So when he took the shelves down, I had to do some touch-ups with some lightweight spackling. I let that dry, and then I went ahead and painted over the areas that when I repainted this dining room, I just left the shelves on there and painted around them. So I had to do some touch-up work. I also went ahead and repainted the sides of the shelves where Mike cut. So that color is Stingray by Benjamin Moore. then the last thing I did while the shelves were drying, I cleaned a lot of my false graph collection. And this is the false, I shouldn't say false graph. I know false graph has a million collections, but the one that I really gravitate towards is their white heritage pieces, the old ones. The newer ones, they're just not the same. They're not the same color, they're not the same thickness. I don't know. I just like the older pieces that were made in the 60s. I know they're not that old. I should, sorry, Dad. My dad was made in the 60s, so he's probably like, hey. But they're just more beautiful. And so I really pared down, obviously, since the shelves are smaller, and I just kept them very simple. And I really love the way the shelves look now with the hutch. Still playing with my pine hutch though. Not exactly sure how I feel about what I have on it right now. I'm ready to decorate for spring and bring some more florals into this space. I don't know, but anyways, that's about it. I know I said it was a refresh. Really, it was just cutting down the shelves, redecorating them, bringing this beautiful pine hutch into our space, and then of course, repainting the corner cabinet. Now, I do have something pretty cool that that I want to maybe try hanging next to the corner hutch, and that is this beautiful pine shelf that my mom got me. I think she said she got it from England, and it is so pretty, and I was thinking about putting it next to the corner cabinet. It has the most beautiful like scalloped edge, and it's quite wide actually. It comes off the wall pretty far. And so I've been looking for a place to put it, and now that the corner hutch is blue, it might be kind of pretty on this wall here. I'm not sure though. So tell me what you think about that, and it might kind of pull the pine over to the other side of the room. But there's definitely some things I'm still messing around with. I hung that gorgeous artwork that I got from Liv over at House on Horizon on this wall right around the corner here, and I love the way it looks. So anyways, that is my dining room refresh. I feel like the corner cabinet looks really beautiful. Still not 100% sure about it, but I do feel like it turned out really beautiful. So you guys let me know what you think. I love being able to share these little updates with you guys, and I tell you all this all the time, but it used to be years ago that I would make little changes and I would just text my mom pictures. You know, we'd text each other all the time. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I always think, how cool is this opportunity to be able to, you know, have this YouTube channel and ask all of these amazing, like-minded women what they think about these little changes I make. And ultimately, what really matters is what I think. I understand that. I need to be the one that loves it. And I've really learned that over the years. But either way, I still enjoy hearing from you. I enjoy hearing your ideas, and it's just fun. It's fun to be able to share things like this with you. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching today. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by. See you later.